On the last video it was the K70 versus the K3ii, and one of my fine subscribers notified me in the comment section that they were looking forward to Hannah's opinions on the difference between the cameras, because we did say in that video, at the end of the video, we'd both give our sort of overview of how we felt about the cameras. We're going to answer those questions today. We're going to talk about how we got on with the cameras and basically which one we thought was better. So this is brilliant coming from a complete beginner who's got, you know, nothing to do with cameras, all that type of stuff. And Hannah's going to refer to the cameras as
the big one and the little one.
The big one and the little one. The big one being the K3 Mark II and the little one being the K70. So we'll start off with how did you feel? I'm going to ask Hannah the questions and I'll give my opinions at the end. Which camera felt the best to use, like the most comfortable in hand?
Well, I thought with having small hands that I'd like the small one better, but I actually preferred the bigger one.
Right.
Because I think it felt more substantial. So it felt like I had, I don't know, more to have hold of, so you felt more confident with it maybe?
Right, yeah.
I don't know. That's how it felt.
It makes sense. See, I would have thought that you'd have liked the smaller one, because smaller hands, you maybe could have gripped it better and stuff, but
no, it didn't impact me.
I totally get what you're saying about the K3 Mark II. It definitely does feel more substantial. It's an aluminium body, where the K70 is a rare plastic.
Felt cheaper.
Yeah, well it is, it's cheaper materials. So another thing would be the weight, like you're saying that, and we've just said that the K3 Mark II is aluminium body. What about the weight? How did the cameras feel in terms of weight when you were using them?
There was a massive difference in weight, but I didn't mind it though. I didn't mind the heavier weight. I preferred it.
Did it feel balanced?
Yeah. So even with a big lens on, I didn't feel like I was tipping over.
Yeah.
I felt like it was sturdy. Right,
because on the camera, it had the DA50 to 135, which again, that's a professional lens, and that's, you know, built of, it's like a little tank. That's quite a heavy lens.
It feels quality.
But they will have done that on purpose. We'll just go up this way because there's some dog walkers there. They'll have done that in the factory to make them balanced, like the camera and the DA50, 135, like all the professional lenses. I'm sure they'll have went through that procedure. What else can we say?
When it comes to setting, like for me, I think I'm used to these kind of cameras, so mirrorless.
Yeah.
So being able to see what I'm actually taking, as in what the photo's going to look like, that was quite weird for me, taking a photo, but then that's not actually what it's going to look like.
So when you were looking through the viewfinder, you could see obviously what you're looking at, but when you took the picture and then you reviewed the picture, it didn't look like how you thought it was going to look.
When I first started taking photos, I forgot the first photo to do the focus on the back.
Yeah.
So I thought it looked great when I looked through, and then I looked at the photo and I was like, what the hell's that? So yeah, that was a learn.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like on these cameras, like if you don't play around with them, or if they haven't got the option to decouple the focusing button, the focus from the shutter button, and put it on the back button focus, and then you probably are going to forget stuff like that. Although I did tell you. You did. But you will have forgot, like, it's easy to.
I found them both very similar when it comes to the focusing and the button on the back. Settings both very, very similar. For me, because I didn't really delve into loads of changes, so you'll be able to answer more about which one you prefer on the settings, I would say.
Yeah, well, the settings, I set the cameras up. I set the K3 Mark II and the K70 up pretty much the same. They were both on AV mode with ISO 400, the same picture profile, all that type of stuff, to make the test as fair as possible. And for anyone who's watching this now thinking, what are you talking about? Then I'm going to leave the video. What I'm talking about is basically the K3ii versus the K70.
Big one versus small one.
Yeah, big one versus small. I'm going to leave that video up next, so have a watch of it, and then this video will make sense.
Yes.
So
overall, for me, big one.
Yeah, so the big one won, the K3ii won.
Definitely.
And I would say the same as well. I prefer the K3 Mark II.
Really nice camera, sturdy. Yeah, like it.
So that's our conclusion. Both of us have picked the K3 Mark II, which I'm a little bit surprised at, but there you go. So make sure you watch that video, and that's up next. Catch you in the next one. I'm out.